Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel today. We're back on GT Sport and we're back with a daily race C that is on this week from the back of the grid on the Americas region, and we came across one of the America's dirtiest sim racers around. Now this is his second account, Chalky Mattress, otherwise known as Luis Danino, I think it is. And yeah, this guy is known to be very filthy in the American servers. So let's see what happens in this race. We've got a camera on Luis Danino there in the top right hand corner. He's starting from P3. I'm starting at the back of the grid. And yeah, we've only ever encountered him once before at Dragon Trail, and he was pretty dirty then. So let's see what happens in this daily race C. Starting from the back, obviously we're in the Toyota. Most people driving the Toyota at this combination because of the hybrid regeneration. So going down the main straight, warming up them medium tyres. I'm starting on the mediums, obviously to enable me to go onto the softs for the last stint to try and like close up on people. So through turn one, it all looks fairly safe, except for one car just absolutely binning it on the outside. But a pretty nice start there. Not too much going on, and then into this left-hand corner again. Some good close driving there. We've got the inside line on this driver, and we're going to try and go round the inside here now, down into third gear, try and get the car to rotate a little bit, and then into the braking zone. You can see going up the left-hand side, and we pull off a nice move there into P10. So already into the top 10, we've got a lot of kicking off in front of us, and also a little bit of argy-bargy behind us. But you can see the two cars going side by side in front of us. We're going to just try and make sure that we brake on the inside here to cover that position, as someone's got a really bad connection, as you can see there. He actually had one red bar, and yeah, he's all over the place. As we go through this corner, it's all kicking off. Cars everywhere, but yeah, absolute mayhem as we go into the braking zone. Again, we've got a car on our left. We're going to give him a bit of space on the left-hand side and try and go around the outside. And it looks like that car actually backed out, and I think he just let us go. So again, we're going to try and go on the inside of this driver in front of us, nice and tight on the apex, down to first gear, get that rotation. A little bit of a hit from behind, but we managed to keep it on the track, and now we're working our way up the main straight. And yeah, we're going to skip ahead to lap 3 as we eventually caught up to P7. So now we're not too far behind Luis Danino. You can see that he's up there in P2. Now he's probably started on the soft tyre. I'm on the medium tyre. You can see he's not had much really to do at the moment because he's on his own. You can see in that top right hand corner, he's on his own, just driving around. He's not really got anyone to take out at this point. So from what I gather is he drives all right when he's got no one near him. As soon as he has another driver near him, he just takes him out. So we go for a very nice move on P7 there and put ourselves up into P7. And now we're going to be chasing down P6 in front of us. So yeah, quite a nice start to this race considering we're on the medium tyres. As we fast forward through this section as we're getting closer and closer to that top 6. And now we're right behind P6 as he goes a little bit wide through that corner. And we're going to see if we can get a good exit off this corner. However, P5, bit of a mistake there from someone up in front. He's going to rejoin the action, and he's going to put himself right side by side with P6. So we're going to have a bit of a freeway going into turn 1 here. So we're going to go to the right side, obviously to give ourselves the inside line into turn 1. So we're going to move our brake bias to -1. Now the reason I do that is because it gives you a little bit more stability when really downshifting aggressively. So you can see we're going to go really aggressive on them downshifts, straight down into second gear, then into first gear on the apex, and that -1 brake bias really helps keep that car nice and stable. Also helps you slow down a little bit quicker. So that is why I do that with the -1, just helps you brake a little bit later. So we made that move, and we're now up into P5 as you can see. And I decided, you know what, we're going to go in the pits now. This is lap 5. And we're going to get that pit stop out of the way and do 8 laps on the soft tyres. The soft tyres can easily do 8 laps. They will fade towards the end. But yeah, it should give us a bit of an undercut. However, we come out the pits and we're right behind a few drivers here. So we go to the right-hand side. Can we get past Heck yeah. And yeah, he has a little bit of a mistake there. And that ends up being quite an easy pass. So yeah, we're going to try and hang it around the outside here, which we managed to do. And yeah, up into P12. So again, we're going to skip ahead to lap number 7, and we've managed to catch up this Brazilian driver in front of us and into the braking zone. And again, you can see I think this driver might not have changed tyres yet. I've got a feeling that he hasn't pitted yet, probably started on the softs. You can see he's not got much traction, so we're going to go down the right hand side and take that position. You can see he gives us the space, sees it coming, and yeah, nice clean driving from the Brazilian there, and then up into P7 for ourselves. So we back up to some other drivers that still haven't pitted. We know this driver in front hasn't pitted because we overtook him earlier in the race. But we can see in the top right hand corner that Luis Danino has actually pitted now. So he's off into the pits and we're on the main straight. So this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting, because we're about to come across the America's supposedly dirtiest driver on Gran Turismo. Probably in general, he's just an absolute filth. So yeah, into turn 1, we can see he's just come out the pits. He's into turn 1. And now we've got to see if we can catch him up and find a way past him. Now, like I say, we were told, we've known about him for a long time. We know he's a dirty driver. We've experienced him at Dragon Trail before, at Dragon Trail Seaside, and he was very dirty there. So I know I'm going to have to be cautious about how we try and get past him. And we're going to try and do our best to get past him as cleanly and as effectively as we physically can. So getting into his slipstream now, you can see we're right behind him. We've got that dirty air, but we've got fresh soft tyres on, so we shouldn't find this too hard to get right behind him because he's on the medium tyres, so he's going to be a little bit slower through the technical sections and the fast corners. So again, into the braking zone, keeping it nice and tight into the apex and just trying to be smooth on the throttle. You can see we're gaining. Even though we've got that dirty air, we're gaining very, very quickly on him. So into this final sector again, we're having a little look, but I don't want to be overly aggressive because I know what type of driver he is. So again, we're just going to try and line this up and see if we can find a way past clean. So we're going to have a little look on the right hand side here, but we see he's definitely saw that one coming and he was very quick to go to the right hand side to cover it. So again, onto the start straight now. We're going to pick up his slipstream, and again, we're going to see if we can go for a move on him. So yeah, we're going to have to be cautious here. So nice bit of slipstream here. So we're going to go to the left hand side and then try and do a little fake on him. However, he just goes to clean push us into the wall there and then tries to take us out as we go around the left hand side. So we decide to brake early. You can see him on the brakes very early there, and he does also, and then he just times it, hits us, spins us off the track there, and that was quite frustrating. So let's have a little look on the replay at how dirty he was on that main straight. So you're going to see as we come onto the main straight here, so we get the slipstream from him. You can see we're going to look back from his point of view just to see how his intentions were as we were trying to overtake him, and he basically lived up to his name of being a very, very dirty driver, because you can see we go to the left, then we go to the right hand side, he tries to push us into the wall, then tries to take us out on the straight. Disgusting driver, to be honest. And then we're into the braking zone. He's again gonna just wait for us. You can see I'm trying to basically let him go up the inside, but he just clean takes us out. However, I didn't give up there. I decided, you know what, we're going to catch him back up. He's got a 4-second lead after that. We've still got tyres that are not too bad. You can see it did actually take a little bit of life out of our tyres. However, we managed to catch him up pretty quick. You can see we're on lap 10, about to start lap 11, and we've still got 3 laps to go. And we've managed to get up right behind him. So round number 2, can we find a way past him and see if we can get our revenge on him and pull away from him? Because we know we're faster. He's on medium tyres. Our tyres are still probably faster than his, and in general, although he's not a slow driver, he's not the fastest driver on the game. So we should be able to catch him up and find a way past if we can do it safely. That is the issue. Can we get past him safely without losing a lot of time? We've got a bit of a gap to P5. We've got nearly 6 seconds to the driver behind. So I know that I can lose a bit of time as we come through here. He's gone very wide through there. And then again, now we're going to have to be quite tactical. What we need to do is try and give ourselves the inside line into a corner, so that he can't push us out on the outside. That's the only way to really defeat drivers like this. Never leave yourself on the outside like I did on turn 1 before, because all that's going to happen is they're just going to go right into the side of you and push you off. So again, we have a little look there and decided to back out of that because I wasn't sure what would have happened if we both went through there side by side, because then we would have had the outside for this corner. So I decided to back out. Again, we're going to try and brake early, get a nice exit of this corner, see if we can get the inside line for there. But again, I decided to go really wide here and try and get a better exit off this corner. So you can see it managed to do that quite nicely. We've got the slipstream right behind him now, and now it's just a case of can we find the way past. So a repeat of what just happened. Let's see if we can make it work. This time he's weaving all over the track. So we're staying to the left. We're going to try and fake up the right again. Tries to take me out again on the right hand side. Now we've got the left hand side. However, I go to -2 brake bias to give myself that little bit of extra braking into the braking zone, get the inside line, and he tries to take us out. However, because we're on the inside, all he does is he pushes himself to the outside. I just carry on my normal racing line, and we managed to take that position. So yeah, in the end, we got the better of him, and he's now down into P4. So let's have a little watch of that again. On the start straight, very similar to what he did before. He's weaving a little bit more this time. And again, we're going to get that slipstream and we're going to fake it up the inside. But again, watch what he does. As we go to the inside, he's just going to go clean across the track and try and push us into the wall. And again, this time he didn't try and push us back on that side. So I knew what to do here. Took up the inside, brake late. We've got the inside. He tries to take us out and push us onto the grass there. However, that failed. We get the inside and yeah, we take that position. Thank you very much. And he's into the AstroTurf and he's never going to get any traction from there. So we managed to hold on to that position and finish ourselves in P3, and we give it a little weave at the end of the race just to thank him and let him know that we got the better of him in that one. So yeah, 1-0 to us, and we're going to go again, and he actually turned up for another race. So let's see what happens in the second race in this daily race C. So this time he's starting from P4, I think, and we're starting from P16. So we've got quite a few cars in between us, and again, it's going to be a case of how we can catch him. But again, we've got his camera view in that top right hand corner, and we're going to keep an eye on him into turn 1, because I think he actually pushes a car wide as we go into turn 1. So let's have a little watch of this as we look at the start. So starting the race, getting that slipstream, we're obviously going to just try and take it a little bit easy into turn 1. We don't really want to have too much of a big error or anything like that. So again, just keep your eye on the top right hand corner though of the screen with Luis and Nino, and as we see, he's just going to push that driver clean out the way in P3 and give himself that position. He's not the most sportsmanlike driver you're ever going to come across, and then we get the inside line as a driver in front of us loses control, and we actually rescue him. However, that loses me a little bit of momentum as we get dirty tyres. However, we did rescue that driver there in the white, I think it was a white Toyota, and now we've got a little bit of dirty tyres through this really fast flowing section, and you see we're having to go down to third gear to try and get a bit of traction, and I think Womble there just runs into the back because obviously we're going a little bit slower. So yeah, we've now picked up a bit more grip on these tyres, and we should be okay now, because we can see we've got over a half a second lead into the braking zone. So quite a big gap to the cars behind. We've got a bit 4 tenths in front of us, so we're just going to go into this corner and be very cautious. However, this driver in front of us here, I think it's a bit clumsy what he does. I don't think he's dirty. He just ends up pushing his way through. It's a little bit naughty. He pushes everyone out of the way from half a second back and takes himself up to P13. But I don't think it was dirty. I think it was more clumsy, because as we see in a minute, as we're going to come back up to him in a minute, he actually drives quite clean. So yeah, we pick up the slipstream behind P14 and see if we can go for a move. So we're going to go up the inside here, down into first gear. We get the inside line, and he actually just lets us go there and tucks up behind us and lets us take that position. So now we're up to P14, and we've got the slipstream behind the driver that just sent it absolutely into the chicane and pushed his way through into P13. But again, you're going to see here, I don't think he was particularly dirty. I think it was just a bit of a clumsy move. So we're going to go to the left hand side because he's got the right hand side covered. Brake really late and see if we can hang it around the outside, down into first gear to try and get some rotation on the car. And he gives us a space on the outside there as 2 other drivers take themselves out, and we managed to gain 3 positions in pretty much 1 corner. So up into P11, and now we can push on and try and catch up the next group of cars, which shouldn't take too long before we get back behind these, because like I say, we're on the American servers and there is normally a little bit of chaos. So you can see we've got a bit of a gap to P10. However, P10 is not a slow driver. We know that as Baz from the EU region, and he's not slow at all, so he's pretty fast. So into the braking zone, we're going to hold the inside this time in case he goes for one of them sends. And again, I think, like I say, looking at where he braked there, I think he just missed his braking before and just got a bit clumsy. But we get the opportunity to go put ourselves up into P10 there as another driver makes a little error, and he gives us a space, probably gave a little bit too much space, but we take the inside and we're up into P10 right behind Baz now. So we're going to get the slipstream for the straight, hopefully, and as we come through this right hand corner, we can see that just in front of us there, 2 cars nearly going side by side. That's going to cost P8 a bit of exit speed, as he had to be very cautious getting back on the power. So we're now going to get the slipstream up this straight and into turn 1 and try and go for a move maybe on Baz in front of us, but we're a little bit too far behind. You can see we've got that slipstream, and we actually make a little bit of an error here. We brake too late. You can see I brake a little bit too late. I realise I go to the right, and we end up just pushing 2 cars off a bit there. So I decided I'm going to have to back out and let them back through. So you can see I'm going to start lifting off the throttle. So I decided to lift a bit, and I don't know which car's which, so I'm trying to let them both through. I'm trying to give them the opportunity, but they're both either side of me. And this got a little bit comical because I was trying to find the way past. You're going to see I keep lifting off the throttle here, staying off the throttle again, lifting the here to try and let them through. And I see an opportunity to let them go either side of us. So we let them go through either side of us. However, P8 goes onto the grass, nearly kills Baz. But unfortunately, yeah, I was trying to let them through, but unfortunately that driver got on the grass, so we're up to P9. But again, we're now behind Baz, and we have a little look here, but I didn't really want to go for a move straight away after we had just like knocked himself through. So we're going to sit behind him and see if we can find a way through, maybe on the start straight again if we can get close enough. However, he gets a really good exit off that corner, and he builds up about 3-4 tenths behind him, so that's going to be pretty difficult to catch him up on the main straight. Again, that dirty air is absolutely horrible when you're behind another car. So again, onto the final corner, see if we can get a good exit here, and I decide, should we pit here or should we stay out? It was going to be one of them. if we stay out, we could end up losing some time. You see Baz goes to the right side. Now, I wasn't sure if he was going to pit this lap or if he was going to go for an extra lap. So when I saw him go straight on, I decided to go in the pits, get my pit stop out the way, and we're going to try and do 10 laps on the soft tyres. So as we come out, we see that Womble is right in front of us, and he's pitted a lap earlier, I think. So he's got to do the 11 laps on them tyres. So I needed to really find a way past Womble as quick as possible. But we know Womble is a clean driver. He drives on the EU region normally, and we know that he's quite sensible. And he's obviously pitted early, so he isn't going to want to fight too aggressively. As we fast forward the lap, as we're getting right up behind him into that slipstream. Obviously, we've got them fresh, soft tyres on, so we've got a lot of grip. He's got one lap over the tyres. So as we come on the main straight, we got the slipstream, and you can see that he's not going to battle it. He stays to the left-hand side, and we get that inside line, and we can see we can put our brake bias to 0 again, just to try and give us a bit more stability, because we were going into that corner quite fast while being in the slipstream, and that just gives us the ability to slow the car down and get back on. You see straight back up to that 2 to the rear bias, just to help out with the braking in that zone. So we skip a little bit further ahead as we managed to put some good lap times in. We did a 1:24.2 in totally clean air, and we've had no one in between us until we've caught up this little group of cars. You can see we put a little bit of a gap to the cars behind us. We're right behind a group of 3 cars battling for P10 now. Now these drivers haven't pitted yet, so hopefully we can get past them as quick as possible. So up the right hand side, we got the inside line, and we're now into P12. And then as we get onto the start straight, we're right behind these other 2 cars who have not pitted yet, and these 2 are going to give me an absolutely perfect gift as they both go into the pits, and we can get on with some nice clean air. Again, you can see we've got a nice bit of clean air in front of us. So skip ahead now to the end of lap 7, and just like magic, Luis Danino is pit, and he's going to come out right in front of me. So round number 2, or we should say round number 3, because we ended up coming out on top in the second round of the last one. But again, we're going to see a little bit more issues going on in this race, because this guy is, well, he's going to be a pretty dirty driver. And as we come into the braking zone here, we're going to see Luis Danino there absolutely send it on P4, and I don't think P4 was very happy with that. You can see that P4 is going to try and give it back now, and I don't know what is going on here, but as I go up the inside, you can see he's trying to ram him, so I brake and decide to stay out of that, and he just goes straight off the track and tries to take him out. And I can understand why he's doing it, because this Luis Danino guy is just absolute filth. So again, we're going to try and go to the right side. He's going to try and block that. Again, we're going to go to the left, and then we're going to put that brake bias to -1, give ourselves a braking into the corner. And again, we've got the inside line now, so as he tries to take me out, it doesn't do nothing, and we're ahead. And yeah, we've got that position. So 2-0 to us. I think we take that one. Or we could say 2-1, because he did get the better of us in round 1. But yeah, overall, we've come out on top, and we're ahead. And we haven't done anything dirty to him. We've just done it by basically outsmarting him in some of the braking zones. So again, as we come through here, though, we're going to look in that top right-hand corner. We can see that Luis Danino is having some issues with people. Obviously, he's had a lot of battling. People don't seem to like him. And you can see they pushed him right there. And now on the start straight, he's going to get that slipstream. So we're going to run on board with him now. I'm not sure if he's trying to take me out at this point. I didn't spot this when we were actually live, but I'm not sure if he was trying to take me out in this instance, or because watch his line of path as he goes to the right. You can see me right in the distance there. He looks like he's lining up for me, and then realizes that he's not going to get me and goes for Baz. However, it doesn't even do anything to Baz. Baz carries on, doesn't even knock him. So yeah, whatever Gran Turismo done with the system there, but it clearly worked. But he's clearly now down in P7. He's just lost himself even more time. And then as he comes through here, he's clearly just going to get rather annoyed. He actually rage quits, which is quite funny to see, because it's his own fault. But yeah, that is apparently America's dirtiest driver on Gran Turismo in terms of in the higher lobbies. A lot of people have seen, if you go and look at his SR profile for his different accounts, it's pretty erratic. So we carry on with this race. We managed to hold on to P2, and quite an enjoyable stream, to be honest, when we did this live. We finally came across Luis Danino again, because we've only met him once before. Let me know what you think in the comment section about his driving, and yeah, I'll be back with more of these videos in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.